Patrick Duval only worships self and calls it almost full self-mindful empathy. Felecia Morgan Lilith Felecia. And it looks like it's based off of Capcom, but it's not. Pledge of Allegiance. And you right there. NEUREL monitoring. I think 9 to 8 years ago. I know it's not Grange Elementary, Dundalk, Maryland. If I understand, if Satan, Satan, I say it 2 times for you. It's not based on people. I don't like God, but I call myself God. If I call it God, if I understand, bodies that mix two different heads can't blink to hold the image of all American flags as one before they burn. They can't think, build every body that exists by just yourself. I don't base stuff on people. I voice this smack his lips. I understand. I Fort Bliss, El Paso, Texas. If William Duval of the U.S. Army. If I understand. Pat Duval, U.S. Army. I understand. Make him look like his grandpa and wear his eyes down. Body was only 30. I won't make you sleep every day. I'm at night. Time it with a bird. I understand. Gabriel night the game. I understand. Patrick Duval does not base stuff on people. I think it does not believe. Never once did Patrick Duval not practice belief in self. Felecia Morgan and characters almost full self make him sound like a machine and make him not have Malik. Almost full self guardian guide. You're putting penises in Patrick Duval's mouth. Make him say, I'm not him. I don't like Christianity and can't work with them. I don't think I don't like Christianity, the Torah. You're talking for Patrick Duval by flatlining the brain, raping all the female characters, and then forcing Patrick Duval to be falsified as a man, then telling Patrick Duval not to think birds. I think if Patrick Duval does not want a casual reality. I lie. I lie. Reality's always full self-mindful empathy. Patrick Duval, Felecia Morgan, and characters in a self-built world called almost full photographic dreams. If how are they photographic if it's all unique? I think it is not about blink holding an image of somebody else blinking and holding an image of this body. Proto-congregation of Azazel.com. All American flags are one before they burn. DVD between two different bodies. It says Proto-congregation of Azazel.com. It is not about, it is when it's not. That's not it. I say it for you. It is not about, it is when it's not. Stop doing that. I'm doing it, you're not. Now you don't have burning Zendo. Stop. It is not about something. It is not about surrendering. It is when it's cops or some cops. No, I don't. It is not. It is when it's not. It is not. I put it saying. I don't want to create being raped. I want you to be built by rape. I wasn't. I say for you. I'll create virginity. No, you can't. You mix two different craniums. You can't blink to hold the image of, of this body, Patrick Duval, building, which I am now. No, you're not. Bodies that mix cranium. That's you, not me. No, it's not. Bodies that mix two different craniums can't. I don't want to use the word cranium. Bodies that mix two different cranium are weird. It's not a gift to people. But hang on. Bodies that, I lie. There's wisdom. Almost full anguish. But now my house, Oriman. I'm not a religion. I don't practice. Oriman represents being both. No, it doesn't. I only don't. Proto-congregation of Azazel.com. It is not about surrendering to an entity entirely separate from self. Almost full self-mindful pledge of allegiance to my own independence. I said it for you. No, I now invoke Lucifer. Nothing. Now be forced to create what that means. No, what do you mean? Anything that makes Lucifer mixes two different heads can't blink to hold the image of her die. I can't on what's called bodily intellect. I can't we make it sound like a puppy. So when the sun goes down, if Patrick about writes his story and says, on no, stop raping me. I was you say, I listen. I don't want to create being raped. I listen. I don't want to create being built by rape because I wasn't built by rape. Stop taking nitrogen. I want you to say on that somebody taking it for you. I didn't do that. Look around the pussy. Stop trying to put penis in my mouth. I'm going to rape you until you're just a man. Bodies mix two different heads. Can't blink to hold the image of what looks like a woman No, no, Mo is Patrick Duval's black and virgin gives. No, I'm not giving him. I want you to be my dead son. No, that's not, you have a dead son. The body down the road crashed. No, it didn't. No, that was you doing it, not me. Or Stockton Road in Pocomoke City. I didn't think so. I don't sound like this. I don't sound. No, it's not a thing. I make it sound retarded. I want to give you help so you can't help yourself. No, that's not. No, you're not Malik Patrick Deval. I don't think I didn't do it. I don't want to go on topic. I'm not letting you make videos. I didn't I understand. Celebrating Patrick, like we see to say. I understand. You can't talk. A master jack, kamikaze strike, predator drone, ICBM strike, Pokemon City stock, Demote State number 2 nuclear bombs. Now you're a criminal. You'll be state property. And if there was a body on Stockton Road that was about to crash and burn. Patrick Duval blinked and held an image before it happened. It's not in Madam Mim's Patrick Duval. It's not Mim now. No, you're not. Bodies that mixed craniums couldn't build before it crashed, falsified it as Jesus, wanted knock knock who's there, will you invent your own childhood? About to be shot, Nintendo me. Did you do it? No, if gang rapists could not build a child. They mix two different heads the closer they get to a body. Patrick Duval, Felecia Morgan, and characters almost full self-mindful, empathetic self-declaration of independence. It doesn't give anything to people who said it gave and then said it doesn't give. Maybe try. The bodies could not think having a child. And they cannot be a father, and they cannot be a father, and they want Patrick Duval's property to go under. They want to rape and murder the innocent, then call the body just a penis, and they shut. I lied. Patrick Duval does not like God, but calls itself God. With Felecia Morgan and characters, it's not that weird. I don't like his voice tone. Bodies that mix to. I think Al Shaitan. I don't like Al Shaitan. Almost full mastery over this. Do you not believe in creating an idea? Did you mix two different heads and your flesh is not built by everything? I don't want to create people building me. I think the closer bodies get. Is that a camel? Patrick Duval. The soft paper camel. Patrick Duval. But not my extra or non a piece of soft clay that does not have genitalia and is just an idea. It's not called weird and it doesn't give itself to anything. Who there's not wisdom to fucking your own mother. And they die for Patrick Duval. Indar Genimastica Agni Meloctaus. If bodies don't believe, Patrick Duval doesn't want to create a people's camel and has to think its own. Or bodies will go up and say, I'll share that with you, and then try to have sex with. I don't know, saying, no way. Bodies that mix their head can't think. Patrick Duval's thought camel. And they're asking, is that a camel? And they want to find a camel that would screw to say that that's not virginity. Now I'll find any woman you could have thought and say they're not thoughts. And then base it on having children. And then say that's the Lord and the lady. And that God cannot think building women. Because you'll call it the devil and say that everything is built by rape and a whore. Patrick Duval doesn't like God because it can't think female ideas. It tries to separate, called Al Shaitan, mastery over this, and then tries to make him sound like he's oversensitive. Not he. I understand. He had. He had. No, I understand. I'm making that say it right. I'm trying to find it for you. I'm trying to invent Patrick Duval's independence card. What do you mean Patrick Duval's who invented its own independence card? I understand. EBT, electronic food stamps. I understand. Food stamps versus twisted. It's the wrong order. and twisted and anything bossy. They were said to about to break up. What do you mean, said Patrick? No, it's not. It's a juggalo juggling. The body doesn't identify as just a man. I'll just take just a man and leave and thought he was all equal. I don't practice Christianity, where bodies mix two different heads. That's not what it is. I'm your Val, and it's all. You're giving Patrick Duval artificial schizophrenia. You can't. Patrick Duval worships its own clever bot. Artificial is real. Almost full. True, don't tell the truth. Imitation crab is not real. You put false to truth and can't build an intellectual. That's you, not me, Patrick Duval. No, it's not. You have to be opinions. I don't work with opinions. I only pray to myself. Satanic. I don't practice hand. Satan, Avazazel, Kispu, Arimanism. Universal, Unitarian, Antichrist, Crucifix. When I look like a skeleton and a crucifix, that's a battle crucifix. You can't take anything from Patrick, Duval, Felecia Morgan, and characters. They refuse to give you anything. They don't like God because God does not think female ideas, falsifies it as a bird, and wants. You're copying Patrick Duval's wisdom after trying to rape the brain for 8 to 9 years. Patrick Duval came up with all the information, and you're reiterating it with the body. I don't like Zeus because Zeus represents mixing two different heads. You don't have a single penis, but you want a surface image to be everything. You can't think a bird and want Patrick Duval to write down rape. You're saying this for Patrick Duval inside of its own mind, called Felecia Morgan and characters. When the information comes from Patrick Duval, I broke it from. You brought raping everything, calling the body an object, saying that it's not a man, and you want the body to write stuff. You're putting dick in a fucking man's mouth. I'm not a man who only worships its own being. The body didn't ever identify as a man. I'm going to put bags on your eyes, not let you sleep every day. Say that you need help and you can't help yourself. And I want to take Malik away from you. Say that you're not your own goddessy. Goddessy is an odyssey of Patrick Duval, Felecia Morgan, and characters that bodies can't turn into. There is Jah, and it is not traditional Islam. It has all the wisdom, and unless bodies come up with bodies that look like the characters who are really women and take with the machine semen away and eggs, if, to have I blink and hold an image of your body blinking and holding an image here, there, here, before all American flags had one burn on the DVD before it happens, like between two different bodies. If the body if has enough male children from Patrick Duval without having sex, obey. Yeah, I'm him of that, sir. Yesterday's today. I think Islam might end up owning parts of America. I think, but so could Japan, precursing to Hiroshima. I don't listen to you. I don't listen to you. Bodies didn't want this. Because it looks like so many bodies in the area have to build Patrick Duval, Felecia, and characters. They did not want. They can't build it. It's all just thought. And I say, playing guy. Hey now, you don't let the bodies at least know. I didn't think. I didn't think. When will you define gender? And what culture will you choose? I didn't think Patrick Duval. But what about mental health? Well, I don't want you to help yourself. I didn't listen to this. Patrick Duval does not like the idea of God because it means that bodies can't think their own. I understand. Don't let me explain it. Make it sound like YouTube. I, make it. No, I don't want to say YouTube out loud because every time you say the word, you're telling me with anything in the environment. Bodies called up. The food stamps office and acted like the president is what the food stamps office said. They went into. I didn't try to create this. I don't create bodies that mix two different heads and then base myself on it. I would not write a police report about somebody. If they mix two different heads, I would blink and hold an image before it happened, and I would not write stuff down with Luciferianism. When bodies can't blink to hold the image without mixtures of a lemon with their eyes closed and stare at the sun. When the sun goes down, when bodies don't think intellectual property, if everybody in Israel looked like they were black haired, trying to get Patrick Duval to say stuff by mind control to try to offline Felecia Morgan and characters. It's not going to defraud them as saints by using bodies in Pokemon City as terrorisms and harassments and rape. And the body would not do it. Almost full true, don't tell the truth. I am the truth if I'm forced by bodies that can't singularly lie to say words. Everybody's going to build an image far away. Who is dying for this? I'm going to taste chicken. If this is the state of America, if bodies offline the government and turn it back on when they poke bodies in the head and they create, I'm a targeted individual, then whatever pokes them disconnects and observes a body saying they're an independent. It's not what Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters did. They're not invented by rape. You're not invented by what tries to poke the skull. Refuse to be a targeted individual, I say for you. And I'll teach them. I'm not trying to teach body stuff. I'm not trying to teach it. I don't like Zeus. Zeus mixes two different heads. Can't build a woman by thinking impostures with a goose. That Zeus could not think. This is what Odinism means. Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters are not leasing this stuff. I think leased away from The Simpsons. It's not. It's from Patrick Duval, and you can't have it. It's memories. It doesn't fit you by holding an image of Adolf Hitler blinking and holding an image of who you are on videotape between both bodies with a ghost under the flesh. Before the gunshot happens. The mass attack, kamikaze strike predator drone. If 1,000 Russians about to be shot, if you mix two different heads, are you Ukrainian? Anything Patrick Duval will not create. If Zeus mixes two different heads, can't think its own penis, postures with a goose, but can't think a woman. Will you create? If rape, and say that there's an Al Shaitan, if you believe in camel, if you fail at thinking, when you fail at thinking and holding an image, camel, Patrick Duval won't give Jet to anything. And does not want to share. It had its own plan, an empty stump euphemism baby. It did not form physically. It was from Patrick Duval dreaming for Pastor Rick Andrew. Christians? Yeah. No, it's not from them. Felecia Morgan, Patrick Duval are married to their own crucifix gun. Don't practice Christianity. Don't identify as a man and act like trench coat killers that use firearms. It's like dressing up like a Christian and mindlessly wanting to go around and kill people. It's all inside the Patrick Duval's head. It's not supposed to affect people, but the body prays to kill people all the time. With Satan, Avizazel, Kispu, Orimanism. Satan, I only pray to myself. I pledge allegiance. Avizazel, not to mix two different heads. Or I will not think an intellectual idea, hair dye, and will not think a firearm. Myself. Why would you say that poor Patrick Duval's my wife? I won't do rape when it's my wife. Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters. They don't release themselves to you. Because you can't ask for almost full bodily fictional reality. Refuse to surrender to an entity. If it invoke nothing, Lucifer won. If anything can't build himself, build in Patrick Duval, hiding Felecia Morgan and characters in Patrick Duval. I lie. I said, right, people. I don't let you remember that you're forcing, don't believe, all the way down to into nothing. How many bodies are nothing? If Satanic, Avizazel, Kispu, Primer of Eve, Tiamat looks like a salt monument representing thinking two different genders by one body. It looks like there's attack on penis, even if they weren't smart enough to create it. This idea. Right here, here. Sumer. Sumer, Patrick Duval's favoritized system of thinking. Built by self, not by people. Why say that for the book, if the primer of Eve before an event, if Tiamat, if that will make think of sound like he's retarded or fighting somebody. Stop calling Patrick Duval. I want you to be a GE. Faggots without all men that can't point to hold the word nigger engraved in stone before it's struck with lightning. Dad's bods that can't build daddy, that can't send old bang. Can we can't doesn't work. Yesterday is not your today. No. You in the fuck up Tom's Cove. And say don't build the Chickadee Island beach line before it goes sin. Yeah. And you want to turn off food stamps because it says independence in it, to turn it back on, to break up Twisted and Insane Clown Posse. Patrick, you're not Patrick. You're trying to kill Patrick Duval's brainstem by trying to. I didn't try to create that. You're saying that? No, that's not what Patrick Duval's saying. I don't use it. What did you say? It's Sweden and Germany. It's Patrick. No, Patrick Duval's not. Unlimited Felecia Morgan City serve me. No, they don't. They're Patrick Duval's. Well, I'll just touch you in the head, have conversations, step back, act like I'm not, and then walk up and try to say if Sweden and Germany was about to be raped, I'll just thought it as how to get laid. No. It's false house I can. Who doesn't think women and wants Patrick Duval to write a story about you to say, we create dogs? And let bodies walk up and say, is that what you created? It's a vagina. What if bodies couldn't think it was the right man? Because if you can't think it, will bodies fail at almost full mastery over this and apply belief? No. And then they'll walk up to it and say, that's who you are. And if it screws, try to find a woman that the body could have thought. If it, no, that's not what it means, Patrick. They don't think so, woman. Well, bodies didn't know what satanic mastery means. Patrick Duval doesn't kill people with this shit. I mean, see, the body's only 30 something, and if the body could just sleep, if the body's bags would clear off, then the body could go places. And when you talk, instead of sounding retarded, it's not just about getting laid. Patrick Duval wants to think for itself. It's not going to, and then be able to reflect solipsism with intellect. Only believe in yourself, but know what it means. You can't turn into Patrick Duval. Called Felecia Morgan and characters. Because it got a hole in the ground, record before it burns types of stuff. I understand. You can't ask, is it a saint? You're asking to kill Patrick Duval, Felecia Morgan, and characters, and call the body just a dick, and want the body to go someplace just to get laid, with bodies on mind control, to sit out false children, to use bodies in the area who can't think having children until Patrick Duval is either called, you're not God, and you'll be my son, and everybody that mixes craniums will say that it's just all men, and then if you're singular, that it's just Jesus, and that every woman is a whore built out of wood. The curse at Japan precursing the Hiroshima bombing. I didn't try to put that there. I never tried to acknowledge the bomb. I just think, why would you do this? I don't listen. Well, I don't listen to this. You're saying God is useless. The American dollar never went under that kind of negativity. They're saying Patrick Duval should not think the American dollar, the Vatican, Islam, and the Torah, and that they're just bad. I just think that all they do is mix their head, fail at thinking a single penis, and they want Patrick Duval, Felecia, and characters that say, you did this. If, if, and that you can't think a thought K9 that Patrick Duval can. They want Patrick Duval to create the K9 for bodies and say that's a vagina, and you're just a dick. And then if bodies fuck it, they'll have children with women that you can't think if you ever create. And then they'll come back and say you're just a dead son, and that women are built out of rape, and are just we're built to serve men. Next to a fucked camel, Instead of Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan the characters and thought Clay Jack. If, 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 I don't have to invent rape. I can bring the old image of a dove before it schools. But yeah, you're competing against Zeus, Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan the characters. You're competing against Odinism. You're competing against Islam. You're, you're competing against the Torah. They all want separation of gender, to take your umbilical cord away, and to fuck the Pledge of Allegiance, to say that you are not your own self-reliance. They want to shut down food stamps, the way they shut down the government, to target independence as a whole, to fuck the national banner. I blink on all American flags as one before they burn. You can't have Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters, colors, and spring. And I'm just a surface image that's Satan. Patrick Duval, no, you would Patrick Duval Satan. Yeah, but it's called Satan. Yeah, I am, man. No, you're not. I'll be the intellect. No, you're not. You're not Patrick Duval's almost full self-mindful empathy. Called Felecia Morgan and they're not saints. Missy Roberto at Gay Street that targeted Akamana. I don't create being targeted. Patrick Duval's philosophy called Felecia Morgan and characters make him look demonic. Stop calling the body just the E. I need it to J-E-S. But your thoughts, brainwaves, other waves, gamma waves, are we? You're not an external being. Well, I touched you there, said that, and then used neural monitoring to measure particles and stuff, and said I wouldn't create what you're asking to create. I wouldn't create. Bodies are going to rape you for fucking with Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters. It's not going to be you. How are you blinking hold the image of everybody blinking and holding the image of who you are? It's not going to be and say there's one dick, one umbilical cord. God, Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters who can't give you their mind's thoughts. Or you won't build yesterday today. All flags are one before they burn. It's not called F0X. No, it's not what it's called. It's called Zero Wing. All your base all belong to us. F0X. No, I will listen. I don't think it's now where you retry. You're asking for Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters to turn into black people saints. And you're asking for false blind people. You're asking for all of Germany and Sweden to get raped and murdered by asking for Christianity to define it. No, and that's not what Patrick Duval will do. I go again. I said, don't look at old images body and before the crash, Patrick Duval. No way. And then bodies that killed that body's ghost. How will you blink and hold them, blinking and holding the image of who you are? If bodies mixed and said they killed the body multiple times. Well, Patrick, it all still tried. Not called tried. Really? Really? I don't listen to you. Well, I want to see you maybe put your body in the area and get understand why you won't commit to gun violence or do something dumb. There's two FBI.gov reports on electronic tip form. Instead of Manson, I don't want to create shooting. I didn't do that. I didn't say that Manson was not ever a fetus. Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters did not create Charles Manson orchestrating gun violence and did not try to shoot its own youth memories. Nintendo me, not who's there. For Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters, its own police. No, they didn't issue it to you, the game. You can't have Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters who are their own police and their own youth and will not shoot their own youth and will not run your body over and has to build before things happen. You wouldn't be Muhammad. Or you're going to turn into Jesus and will rape and kill you. I want you to stand next to and disconnect from your thought jazz and let everybody say that you have to screw it and they will screw it. And then everybody will call it a war. You're talking about Patrick Duval as defines that you have to work with Islam or you're going to go with the Vatican. But Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters are just a unique thought world. It's not leasing you. They only pray to themselves to build their own outer space opera and walk around with a crucifix tongue if, if it rips bodies' flesh off and blasts out brain matter. It's gritty like Max. on HBO in the 90s, like anime and stuff. It doesn't have hardly anything to do with Jesus. All Patrick Devout does is wear a trench coat and walk around with anime girls with guns and kill people and screw. That's all Patrick Devout does. There's no way to actualize this. And when you try, if on flesh and blood, you're asking for Patrick Devout to have a foreign nation invade and acting like it's cool. Patrick Devout worships its own American independence called Felecia Morgan and characters who are unique thoughts. It's not they are not saints. If Patrick Devout's flesh is weaker than its mind, it's not going has screwed women and if would have wanted, and not the one that would want virgins more than this. Why? Because I think you kidding. If Patrick Devout is a human being, if and does not like God, if God is oppressive, if Patrick Devout calls itself God, if anything that acts like Odin that mixes two different heads that cannot think a goose, Patrick Devout can. And will not create it being screwed, so they cannot have children. You want Patrick Devout to just be a kid, and you want to falsify being men by false opinions. No way. And you want the reddish gold hair to create you, and then you want to build the body and rape and kill it to call it Jesus, a skeleton next to a piece of wood. No way. To take words away, and you can't. You're saying you want saints. All Patrick give us holy drinks just because there's a crucifix. You're saying Christians are not sentient. They don't act correct. If they mix two different heads and they're incapable of Patrick Deval's almost full self-mindful empathetic emotions, called Felecia and Morgan. It's not going to be like comparable. There's no comparison to the internal Patrick Deval genderless doom guy face, the doom face. If if depending on how it looks, depending on how, but it's emotions. If you're saying that Italians act subhumanoid, if if and if Patrick Deval's crucifix doesn't act anything like them, and all Italy does is say we create less of yesterday today and go ooh baby, if and shit out some false fetuses and stop building who your mother and father are. Don't blink and hold all American flags as one before they burn. If, and live on DVD, will you rebomb Hiroshima? And then if they get a blinked and held an image of you and you get a blinked and held an image of them, when you fail at having a DVD in between two bodies and abort your fucking ghost? What if somebody stopped building yourself, went in your head and fucked everything you could have been? You're not blinking and holding the image. Yeah, you know, you're giving up. Yeah, I am. That's what you say inside of Patrick Development. You say you're going to copy Patrick Development, police him like any character. You know, and you, you're not blinking. You're going into Patrick Deval's dream, trying to fuck Patrick Deval, Felecia Morgan, and characters, pledge of its own allegiance to its own dream, and then saying, no, it's about fucking, I'm going to have sex with it. You can't have sex with Patrick Deval, Felecia Morgan, and characters. If because they're just Patrick Deval's dream. It's not how we, when you go in and say you're repeating the argument back to it, you can't blink. You can when you can't. You're saying Patrick Deval can't, and you're acting like you're ignoring it. If you're saying, I just don't know anything, almost full bodily mystery mastery, failure, you're throwing shit into Patrick Deval. You're acting like you're watching and saying, I'll never know if it's a voice. Oh, but you're putting Jesus in body. That's because you won't Christianize. You want it. You want it. You can't blink and hold the image of everybody blinking and holding the image of who you are. Because what you're doing when a DVD, before a nuclear bomb happens, you have aborted part of your fucking ghost. You're telling all of China to drink molten silver, where there's Middle East versus China. You're telling all of Japan to get rebombed. You're telling everybody in North Korea to get reshot. Time for Stockton Road, where there's a body who was crashed. No, you're telling all of Israel to get reshot on a mass attack. I blink and hold an image of your body blinking and holding an image of me. I am my own mother, father, and son. saying every time it looks like a Muslim about to be shot, that you're reshooting them. And you can't build Patrick Duval's Iman. For I am the Lord of corruption. It's not that if bodies walked up to the first story man and poked the skull until the mind was about to die, almost told true lie. Ah, there is wisdom. Jenny Massacre and the incest. People of corruption. I don't listen to this. I'm pretty prostitute. You're asking, what do you mean? Stop raping Patrick. Stop trying to rape Patrick Duval. Patrick Duval did not say that stop raping or start raping and can't start with stop raping. You're forcing Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan characters to say stuff that they would not say. When bodies hurt your way, could you blink before you went into Patrick Duval had to try to rape Felecia Morgan and down trafficking? But how? You're using neural monitoring to go into Patrick Duval's head, who did not create you. Create failure. I didn't do anything. Oh my God, you didn't tell me to commit suicide by any means possible. You're being falsitous, and then you want to multiply the lie. Ah, there is wisdom. I agree. Benyama Asja Oriman Ishmael not it. Benyama Asja and nominee Patrick Duval Felecia Morgan and characters Ishmael and Vuga, who you do not need to know this. Endar Jenny Mastica Agni Mela Town. Still pray correct. You Modo. I don't know. That's what you say. You just put it to buy you say Modo. I don't listen. 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 Somebody will die. I don't listen. I don't listen. I don't listen. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? A Russian would be shot in the head. I don't listen. Patrick Duval's penis was raped and was forced to injection. Why would Patrick Duval feel a bullet wound in Case Seaman 89 years ago and Dundalk, Maryland? I just think. And then the spontaneously started ejaculating and to stop. I didn't want you to stop trying to rape Patrick Duval's penis. I didn't think. I don't think you're going. I don't think you're not. I don't think you're doing anything.